BBC Radio Stoke.
26 minutes to 9, Lee in for Stuart and Amy this morning. And it's been called the Wigo effect, I suppose. Quite a lot of people are getting quite giddy about cycling. With you now, though, a couple of cyclists who've been at this for a while, and they're taking a challenge on, which is, well, it's significant. Warren Thomas from Stone, along with friends Mark Atkinson and Rob Wheeler, planning to cycle 400 miles across 4 countries in 5 days. Let me just get that into my head. 400 miles across 4 countries in 5 days. And Warren said to me as he came in, well, actually, it's 380. But to be honest, when you get to that height, does it make any difference? Warren and Mark with you. Good morning, both.
Morning, Lee.
And you were saying that this is what you're about to do. There has been quite a big build-up to the final event, hasn't there?
Yeah, we all bought the bikes sort of middle of last year. None of us had ridden at that point for at least 10, 15 years before. But we'd settled on this challenge. We decided that a bike ride would be the right thing to do. So yeah, we started to aim towards build-up events, with which the first one was April this year, where we went to Wales and back from where I live, down in Stone. And that was a challenge, for considering it was the first one. It was the first decent long day. The second challenge we did was really down to Rob and Mark wanting to do, because they're runners in the past as well. So we did the Bupa Manchester 10k run, and I must admit I'm a cyclist when it comes to running. Then we did the Enduro 300, which has become sort of legendary now in Birmingham, in that 10 of us did a relay around the city streets of Birmingham for 24 hours and ran it literally like a relay, one rider on track at any one time. And we did, I think in the end, 366 miles, 24 hours, buzzer to buzzer, which was a phenomenal event. And on that day alone, we raised £1,000 towards the charity. So that was fantastic around work. Great support from where we work at Serco in Birmingham. And then the final challenge to really sort of rehearse riding as a team was the Oxford Challenge, as we called it, which was Bourneville to Oxford in a day, which was about just under 80 miles, I think it was. 5 or 6 hours in the saddle, and that was last month. So here we are. Talk
us through then the latest challenge, because this is the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. We've spent the last month or so planning the actual route itself down to the finest detail. We've obviously been working with the Stroke Association, Claire Benfield and co down there, because it's a stroke association we're riding for. The challenge itself, the idea is to go from Birmingham to Brussels in 5 days. So our logo on our shirts is 5 days, 4 countries, 3 riders, 2 wheels, 1 goal. We're going to start in Birmingham. Day 1 is down to Oxford. Day 2, Oxford through the City of London, through past the Olympic Park, of course, over to Dartford. Day 3, Dartford over the water to Calais. And then Day 4, Calais to Bruges. Day 5, Bruges up to Saas van Gent, crossing the border into Holland, back out through Vennes into Brussels.
Let's pick up on the Stroke Association point, because there was a key reason, very close to your hearts, as to why you're putting yourselves through this, isn't there?
There is. All our families have been affected by strokes. On a personal front, my mum's a stroke survivor, having had several strokes over the last few years. By far and away the bravest person I know. Mark's family the same, and Rob, I know Rob's mum has been affected as well over the years. But yeah, middle of last year we had a very close friend, Mr. Tom Flaherty, who suffered a serious stroke at work. He's a close friend of the 3 of us, and it really, at that point, to be honest, we'd already picked the Stroke Association for our own personal reasons, but that really brought a focus to it. Yeah.
And I notice, Mark, you're both resplendent. You've gone all the way, really, with the imaging, and then just talk us through what you're wearing.
Well, we've got a traditional cycling jersey, but what we've managed to do is, because we work at Serco, they've been as good as to sort of foot the bill for us doing the whole ride, so they're paying for our hotel, food, transport and all that kind of stuff as well. We've got a very good friend, Clive, who's now known as Clive the Drive, who's driving the van for us.
Clive the Drive?
Yeah,
Clive the Drive.
Yeah. So we've just managed to, Rob's actually spent a lot of time on a website. We've got a jersey which we've managed to sort of completely personalise with our sponsors, various logos on. We've got our Just Giving site on there and various links, and also we've managed to put our own little nicknames for the journey on there as well. So we've got
clean, your nicknames. Let's have a look.
Yeah, they're okay. Yeah, we've got Foz, Axel, and then Wheels is listening in somewhere.
Yeah, I'm going to say, Rob Wheeler, the perfect name for this challenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's Wheels.
when you strode through the door, I thought it was Team GB coming in with his gear on. So when do you set off then?
We set off Monday morning from Bourneville, outside where we work, at Serco, there at 9:30.
What's the biggest challenge you're going to face over this journey?
Probably hills.
There's a 6.5 mile hill at the very, very beginning of day 2. So having had 80 miles, 85 miles in the saddle day 1, to then wake up to a 6.5 mile hill isn't going to be fun. But then we got a nice downhill, so...
Yeah, the downhills make up for going uphill and struggling up the hills.
Who provides ice packs, etc.? Do you have anyone on hand? You got Clive the driver.
Clive the Drive. He's team manager, nutritionist, driver, and alarm clock.
And finally, I must just make reference to the facial hair. You've both gone for the unshaven look, but I can't see any full sideburns.
Now then, that's the chap who's not here, Rob Wheeler. He has he's gone the full 9 yards, and he's grown the Wiggo boards. Yeah, he's got the Wiggo boards on.
So by the time you arrive in Brussels, will you both be having the mutton chops on the go?
Well, you never know. Is that a challenge, Lee? Yeah.
I'm just thinking you should go the whole way. You should really go with the spirit of cycling, shouldn't you?
Absolutely.
So if people want to support you, where do they need to go?
Where do they need to go? Right, it's Team B2B. That's the number 2. So Team letter B, number 2, letter B, .wordpress.com is our main blog site where we try and entertain every time we go out. We put an update on there, and there's all kinds of information, including a link to where you can sponsor us, which is justgiving.com/Team B2B.
Lovely to meet you. Good luck with it as well.
Thanks very much, mate. Thanks for your time.
Warren Thomas and Mark Atkinson, who are preparing to cycle 400 miles across 4 countries in 5 days for the Stroke Association.
News update. BBC Radio Stoke.